Yo, what's going on, guys? It is Fox98 here. Welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on the channel. Today we're here with a brand new episode of my F1 2019 career modes here for you guys on the channel. First things that I want to address quickly. First of all, if you guys think that anything sounds different in terms of audio-wise, I am obviously currently away at the moment, but obviously I'm still recording and making vids when I have the free time, because obviously I want to. And obviously the quality of the videos, in a few of them, are going to be a little bit worse because I'm recording on a laptop, not my PC at home. So they are dropped down a little bit, but they shouldn't be that much of an issue. But as we then head on into qualifying then for this Spanish Grand Prix now, you can see as we head in towards turn 1 on our first lap here, we actually get impeded by our teammate Lando Norris out of everybody, and that kind of just ruined this first lap here. I even tried to go forward to turn 3, and at that point really the lap was kind of over at this point. Like I wasn't even going to bother to just try anymore, and you can see that I actually went wide in the end, and that just put me off and just lost me all the time there. So I ended up letting Lando Norris back through, and then I tried to go out again. So I tried to go and have another run at it, and this time now I've got Alexander, I think it's Danny Kvyat in front of me, yeah, this time around I had Toro Rosso in front of me, and well, he just got in the way, and yeah, I couldn't really do anything about it. I sort of didn't really have that much of an impediment on this run, but as we go up in towards turn 4 here, you can see now that we get a good line, and then I have to sort of swoop around the outside because where Kvyat was really compromised my line. And then as we go in towards the middle sector now for the lap here, you can see that as we go along through, we just go onto the curb and then we just get onto the traction a little bit there, spin it around, and we've gone into the wall there. So that's not how I want to start off my qualifying in the slightest there. And as you can see on the replays here, as I just went through on the exit, I just lost the back end ever so slightly, and you can see straight into the wall, and that's my front wing off. Luckily, not an end to my session, but really has been a messy qualifying. As we move on to the end of qualifying then, this time around, as you can see here, that time now coming on through, and we set a decent first and middle sector. This is what I need now to try and get out of qualifying 1 for the first time in this career mode, because I've not yet got out of Q1 or on the back row of the grid now. As we go through the final chicane there, across the final corner now, onto the straight, open up the DRS now to the start-finish line. Will we finally get out of Q1? The answer is we will. We have managed to qualify in P12. Finally, we have managed to get out of Q1. We've had a good qualifying lap there, and that is very good for us. And there you can see is confirmation that we've made it out of Q1, and that is some relief for myself. So now we can go ahead and get into Q2 for the first time this year, and try and see if we can make anything of it. But obviously really happy with that. Into Q2 we go then, and I actually only went for 1 run in Q2 because of course I didn't really have any tyres left. Yeah, I think that's what I had to do. I thought it was the best option for myself. And as you can see then, going into the final chicane here, you can see now here on my Q2 lap, it was a decent exit actually towards there. But let's see what we can do in Q2 then. Where's we going to start then for the Grand Prix? Can we get into the top 10 shootout? No, it's only going to be P14, I'm afraid, for the Spanish Grand Prix. But no matter what, that is my best qualifying so far this year. And it's a little bit embarrassing to say the best qualifying is P14, and we still got out-qualified by Lando Norris there, but both McLarens yet again being knocked out in Q2, and yeah, still not quite there with the McLaren yet. It's just not quite as fast as it needs to be, but we will keep developing the car obviously, and we will eventually find that sweet spot with it. We just need to obviously find it. But as you can see then, that is everything for qualifying there. You can see that we're now losing in the rivalry, which is not really that much of an issue to be honest, and as you can see, resource points gathering up. But yeah, with that all done and dusted, let's get into the race.
What does the Spanish Grand Prix have in store for us today, I wonder? I hope we see some tight wheel-to-wheel action down the main straight, circa Mansell and Senna way back in '91, or maybe we'll have a more strategic race here on a track where overtaking can be difficult. The Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya then, a high-speed 2.89-mile circuit which demands an efficient downforce package and bravery on the part of the driver, especially through the blind right of turn 9, which we might just see taken flat this weekend. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Now, can I get your take on Max Verstappen? Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and starting alongside him P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Gasly, Charles Leclerc and Butler, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Perez and Lando Norris, Hülkenberg, Thomas, Kimi Raikkonen and Faber, Verstappen, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi and Alexander Albon, Grosjean. They've taken the grid penalty, and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Alright then, so as we get onto the grid then to start the Spanish Grand Prix, as you can see, we're getting ready to go, and it's going to be a one-stop strategy for us. And yeah, this is going to hopefully help us out for the Grand Prix, trying to gain a few positions there. And yeah, let's get on with it then. So as you can see, then we're on the grid here to start this Spanish Grand Prix. We've got 5 red lights here, and it is going to eventually be lights out. And there it is, and away we go for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix. Decent initial start for us, but as per usual, it's going to be a slightly tougher getaway. So I think one of the Red Bulls there is actually behind us as well now. So they've obviously taken a grid penalty as we now go in towards the first corner here. Decent little run into there. Having to be a little bit cautious on the entry into turn 1. Can't quite take the line that I'm used to, as one of the Mercs there tries to go around the outside of Vettel now, as we slot ourselves in here just behind the racing point of Sergio Perez now, as we go up in towards turn 4 here, and Hamilton there on the defensive early on, as we now go down the inside of Sergio Perez here, barge our way through. That allows Hülkenberg to come on through, and Nico now tries to have a run at myself here. We've got the inside line into the next corner, and we're just going to shove him wide and not give him the room there to get past us. And now we're onto the back of my teammate Lando Norris, who's also made a couple of places off the start, so it's been a good first lap so far for McLaren as things stand. As you can see, we've got Hamilton, Gasly, Leclerc. I don't know why Gasly is so far up the order. He should probably be in last place, to be honest, as we now continue on the back straight now, down in towards the hairpin here. You can see there's a little bit of a slipstream train here as some of the cars try and find their way through. As we go in towards the hairpin now, we're going to go around the outside of Lando Norris here, and we do make this one stick. Norris gets a compromised exit through towards the final sector. Norris outbrakes us now, tries to give us a little bit of a fight here to Lando, so fair play to him, but just on the exit there, he just backs out of it, and that allows us now to maintain position there, and we can continue onwards now into the final chicane. It's been a sensational start though for us here in this Grand Prix. As you can see now, we've got all of the drivers powering on through, and you can already see the gap building between the top teams and then ourselves as we're in the slipstream now of Daniel Ricciardo. Let's see if we can try and make anything of this, but he's also got the slipstream of the Haas car in front here, and we're going to see if we can try and have a look here on the back of the Renault car in towards turn 1. Not quite though. No, Ricciardo closes the line there, and we have to sit back and just wait bide our time before we can eventually pass Daniel Ricciardo for a spot at P8, I believe it is in this race, or P9 actually. Moving on now onto lap 3 of the Grand Prix. You can see here that we're back onto Daniel Ricciardo's tail, and already I was finding some great pace in these initial first phases there as we got a little bit wide on the exit now of this Grand Prix. Now we're in the slipstream here of Daniel Ricciardo. Move over to the inside line here, and it's going to be a simple overtake now in towards turn 1. You can see here that we go down the inside now. Completely forgot to say as well, I actually changed my helmet for this season. As you can see here, Devin Bullsack now and Kevin Magnussen having a little bit of a scrap here, and it's Bullsack boy that wins out in the end. So clearly Devin's got a pair of bulls in hand to go and fight Kevin Magnussen there, and he makes it stick. Meanwhile at the front there, you can see the other drivers coming involved. Looking further back though, here is Max Verstappen, who started further down the order with a grid penalty, now trying to make up some places here along the midfield fight here as he goes in towards turn 1 here on the Renault. I believe it's Nico Hülkenberg. He is going to secure the overtake there. He has to do it a little bit more aggressively. But that occasion, you can see that he's also running the soft tyres, which is a little bit of an interesting call there. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Meanwhile, for us, just a little bit further in front here, we're now onto the back of Devin Bullsack here, who's been re-overtaken by the Haas car. And we now switch it, fake it over, go towards the inside line here, barge our way past Devin Bullsack there, and you can suck my balls, Bullsack boy, because I am back in front of him now. I love calling him Devin Bullsack. I'm really sorry, guys. It's just funny. But now we're onto the back of Kevin Magnussen as the back end slides a little bit down on the exit now, and we're making some great progress. I think we're in P6 at the moment. The other disadvantage of recording on my laptop is I don't actually know what the preview screen looks like. It's so blurry that I might as well go and get an eye test at Specsavers and it won't actually help me. So now as we go in towards the hairpin corner here, we're just trying to have a little look at Kevin Magnussen. But already these medium tyres have been working so well for myself. And obviously these guys are all on soft tyres. They're going to start falling away a little bit sooner. And they're going to have to do a 2-stop, whereas I can get away with the 1-stop around here. So it's really going to help me out in this Grand Prix. But obviously I can't get too complacent, because if I push these medium tyres too much to keep up with these soft tyre runners, I might end up damaging my own. So I need to be careful on that front. But you can see here that Verstappen now has passed Devon Bulsack, who's actually pitted for the first time in this Grand Prix. For myself though, we just keep moving forwards, and next up the road is going to be the Haas car here of Magnussen. We go around the outside here in towards turn 1, secure it towards the inside in turn 2, and like I said, I really do enjoy overtaking cars around the outside. It's just a lot more satisfying on this year's game, and that's what we're going to do here, and that is the overtake done and dusted. We are now up into P5 in this Grand Prix. Sensational start here on lap 7 of the Grand Prix, and now all we got to do is just keep our focus. Meanwhile though, as things started to quieten down between myself and the rest of the midfield fight, there was a bit of a scrap going on at the front here as Bottas now goes around the outside of Vettel, breezes past him on the straight there as Bottas moves into, I believe it's 2nd place now, because Lewis Hamilton is just up the road. So Vettel, who was in front of Hamilton, is struggling a little bit. Meanwhile, 1 lap later though, Sebastian Vettel is coming back at Valtteri Bottas though. Here comes Sebastian with the DRS now, and that Ferrari power unit, not as fast as the Mercedes power unit in the F1 2019 game, because the day 1 patch hasn't come out yet, but obviously in due time Ferrari will breeze past even better than that. But on that occasion, Bottas just couldn't hold off Sebastian Vettel. But once again now, Bottas will retake the DRS from Seb, and he'll now have another crack at him as they go now in towards the first corner here. Here comes Valtteri Bottas now. Is he close to me? It doesn't look like it here. In towards the first corner though, Bottas tries around the outside. Doesn't work on that occasion. He has to sit back though. Vettel holds the position there. And meanwhile for us, we're now on to lap 13 of the Grand Prix. And just continue our way. We've got a yellow flag there in the first sector. So something's gone wrong in the first corner for one of the cars. I think it's a Toro Rosso car that's gone off the track slightly. We're going to find out why. And here it is. Looks. Oh, it's the 2 Toro Rossos that have made contact there. That's Kvyat and Albon having a bit of problems. So that's not really going to help things out there if you can have your 2 teammates hitting each other. Rule number 1, never make contact with your teammate. It's just the biggest rule that you shouldn't be doing. And there's also some more scrapping going on here, because just before the pits started to really start rolling about, you can see here now that Bottas is coming out of the pits. I think Vettel's coming out of the pits as well. Hulkenberg though goes to run around the outside of my teammate Lando Norris there, and that's Vettel out of the pits. Charles Leclerc now right behind Bottas here, but Hulkenberg and Norris now are interrupting the fight going on between the front runners in terms of where they come out into the pits now. Vettel's got some clean air here. Meanwhile, Bottas doesn't have clean air as Hulkenberg passes Norris, and Norris is just in the way now of this fight as we now go through towards turn 10 here. Flat out now, as you can see, Bottas though goes to attack Lando Norris now, my teammate, under some pressure here as he goes around the outside and towards the hairpin. On the fresh hard tyres that Bottas has got, he's just going to breeze it around the outside there. Hulkenberg makes it stick. Bottas has to hold him behind, and he makes that move done and dusted. Meanwhile for ourselves here, just up front here of that queue, we're coming into the pits now. No need to have any form of issue with the traffic there, and we're coming in for our scheduled stop to go on to set the hard tyres now, and we're going to take those all the way to the end of the race. And so far so good. It's been a sensational strategy and a sensational stint from myself. It's been really, really well organised, and yeah, I've been really happy with the pace so far. And now it is, we got to do what we got to do on the hard tyres. Now we should come out in a bit of clean air here. And yeah, I think this is how we're going to run our race now. So yeah, we've got the clean air. Verstappen there rejoins in front of us. We're going to come out just in front of the Williams car of, I think it's George Russell or Robert Kubica. I think it was Russell in the end here. We're just in front of the Williams car, which is critical. I didn't want to get stuck behind him because I knew it would compromise me there. Verstappen now on a set of medium tyres. Now Max Verstappen, remember guys, is doing a 2-stop in this Grand Prix. So he'll be coming in again. So he will once again be behind us in this Grand Prix, potentially, depending on the pace of that Red Bull, because of course he's in a Red Bull, for goodness sake. But on to lap 24 of the Grand Prix now, a man that is doing a 2-stop was Charles Leclerc, and he obviously got compromised early on, and as you can see now, he's actually ended up behind us in this Grand Prix, but obviously, am I going to be able to hold off a Ferrari? Absolutely no chance. So on to lap 25 of the Grand Prix now. Charles Leclerc here is closing onto the back of us now. Here you can see, here he comes. He's closing, he's getting closer. He's getting much, much closer now in towards the first corner here. Charles Leclerc now takes the position, and I didn't even bother to fight that one. There's absolutely no point in this race. He's not my fight. My fight is with Max Verstappen. But as you can see though, what I found quite interesting was my pace versus Charles Leclerc, because throughout the entirety of the lap, he didn't actually manage to pull out of DRS myself. I managed to keep in it somehow, And I thought this was a great tactic here because my fight for this race is going to be for P6 versus Verstappen. The longer that I can stay in DRS range of Charles Leclerc, the better it's going to do for me. And once again here, on the next lap, it's a new personal best, and it's once again DRS time for myself. And I was really, in this race actually, was the first time that I managed to nail ERS and fuel management. I've not really been able to do it this year, and this was the first Grand Prix where ERS and fuel management was critical, and I really hit it down. Eventually, though, onto lap 32 to start lap 33, Charles Leclerc broke the DRS. He then blasted off into the distance. Nothing I could do about that. Verstappen, though, on the medium tyres was now coming at me here, and we go a little bit wide. We take too much curb on the last corner. That's going to allow Verstappen now an opportunity to try and attack us now on the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. Here comes Verstappen now on the outside line in towards the first corner. A little bit of contact there between myself and the Red Bull car. We break a little bit later though. Just commit ourselves to the inside line, block off the corner, and gives a great defensive display from myself. But we still got the rest of the lap to go versus Max Verstappen in this Grand Prix, and we need to try and hold on now if we are to cement ourselves for a career best 6th place in the Spanish Grand Prix after the disaster that was Baku. This time around, we're looking on fine form here to continue a good, or to get back on form, should we say, in the points now as we go around towards the middle sector. Now, this has traditionally been the slightly weaker, slightly better section, sorry, should I say for myself. The first sector is where I was awful. The middle sector, I was sort of so-so, pretty much matching my rivals around me. And then it was the final sector where I really had the performances. Lewis Hamilton has come across the line to win the Spanish Grand Prix. He won't be taking the fastest lap, though, home with him as well, because Sebastian Vettel takes the fastest lap. But meanwhile, for us, we've not managed to be under it. We haven't gone under attack from Verstappen in the second DRS zone here. So that just means now in this final sector, we just need to get everything right. We can take it as easy as possible, because at the end of the day, I don't expect Verstappen to make any form of dive-bombing attack on myself as we now go through the final 2 corners now, and that is job done. So as you can see now, around the last corner here, opening up the hot lap mode on the ERS. It's going to be a career best 6th place though for ourselves. Sensational drive from us, and I was really happy to finish in 6th. And the pace was there this weekend. I was really hooked up to the car, and I was really happy about that. And yeah, I'm really pleased that we managed to get such a strong result there for the team. And yeah, it was absolutely awesome. And as you can see there, just a confirmation that Mercedes win with Lewis Hamilton. A little bit of a bounce back for Merc because they've been on the back foot in the past few races versus Ferrari. Ferrari have definitely been running away in this championship. Meanwhile there, for Kevin Magnussen, you can see looking pretty disappointed there in the Haas car. But overall, it was the one-stop strategy that paid dividends. We were much quicker doing the one-stop strategy. And as you can see there, in fact, most of the front runners as well, the likes of Hamilton, Vettel and Bottas, I don't know if Bottas did it actually. I know Hamilton and Vettel definitely did the one-stop. They started on mediums and went to hards, so those two had the right call, and it was definitely the right strategy call. It was definitely a medium to hard race. It wasn't really entitled for a soft to medium Grand Prix. But there is the full race classification then. So as you can see, it is Hamilton from Vettel, from Bottas, from Charles Leclerc, I think, and then also from Pierre Gasly. Then it's myself ahead of Verstappen, which is a great one for us. In the Drivers' Championship, crucial amount of points being gained for us. The first time we've really got a good haul of points on the board there, which is very good for us. And in the Constructors' Championship, we're still behind Haas and Racing Point, who are at the moment our big rivals. Renault, though, not far behind, but a good point score from us today has put us in front of them. And that is great for us.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts.
You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what racing's for. You overtake cars to get a better result.
Your team must be ecstatic with how you're performing.
It's how I am anyway. I'm not ecstatic because I know I'm the best in the world. I'm the supreme leader, love.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, that's alright. You're wasting my time. Anyway, I love doing that with Anna. Claire, whatever her name is. Anyway, guys, that is going to pretty much round it off for today's episode. Also, as well, what we did is we actually went ahead and purchased a powertrain upgrade as well in this episode. I think we purchased it during practice, obviously I don't really record practice. We did purchase a powertrain upgrade, which should come from the Monaco Grand Prix. The only reason I've done that is because I definitely want it in place for Canada, and as a precaution, I brought it a step forward in case it fails. It will definitely come for the Canadian Grand Prix. But guys, that's going to round it off for today's episode here at the Spanish Grand Prix. If you guys have enjoyed it, feel free to drop it a like and subscribe to the channel if you've not yet subscribed already, as you won't be able to get notified of when I do upload a video, and it would obviously mean so much to see all of the support coming through on the channel, which I have been seeing recently, so I really do appreciate that. But for now, I will see you for the next episode. Until then, guys, take care all. Peace.